I'm Amanda from Little Ones. Today I'm going to be answering the question, should I get rid of the pacifier or dummy? The pacifier can be a fantastic tool to aid in babies going to sleep. So if you've got a newborn between 0 and 3 months old and they're using a pacifier to go to sleep, that's absolutely fine, and it can be a great way of helping babies go to sleep easily. They love sucking and it will soothe them nicely and they'll drift off. The issue that can happen is between 3 and 4 months old, the pacifier can end up then causing you other sleeping issues. So where the baby is reliant on that pacifier, they start maturing at their sleep cycles between 3 to 4 months old, and they'll start waking completely in between their sleep cycles. So therefore they'll wake completely, and the only way the baby knows how to go to sleep is by sucking on that pacifier. So once they wake in their sleep cycle, they then need that pacifier to go back to sleep. This shows as the baby's starting to catnap and sleeping only 45-minute chunks during the day, and then often at night time, usually after midnight, it will start happening where the baby will start waking every 2 hours at night, and even if it's just popping the pacifier in and then going to sleep. So if you're happy with that and you're happy with your baby doing that, that's absolutely fine. But if your baby is doing that and you are noticing that the baby's grumpy and they're not sleeping well, then it's time to remove the pacifier. We have a couple of different ways of removing the pacifier at this age group. There's a quick method and then there's a more gradual method in our programs. The unfortunate problem that we will face when you take away the pacifier is you are going to start hearing your baby crying, because you are physically taking something out of their mouth, which is basically stopping crying because you are taking out the pacifier, so they are able to use their voice. So that does take a bit of getting used to as a parent, and finding other ways to soothe your baby without that pacifier. So babies once you've got over that newborn phase and if you have removed the pacifier, then that's great, leave it. I would in older babies replace it with a cuddly or something like that if you're happy with having that, having the baby have a lovey or a cuddly to sleep with. That's a fantastic sleep association that can replace the pacifier with. If you have got an older baby over 6, probably more around 8 months old actually, and you've still got a pacifier and you're able to and you've still got a pacifier and if it's causing issues, at that age you are now able to start teaching your baby to put the pacifier in themselves. So that age, I wouldn't bother getting rid of it. I would start teaching my baby at night time, rather than me going in and putting it into their mouth. I would start teaching the baby to find their own pacifiers in their sleeping space and popping it in themselves. And that is easy, quick. They'll pick that up pretty quickly and they'll find it. Usually I would recommend putting a couple of different pacifiers on a little, there's a thing called a sleepy tot, where you can have 4 different pacifiers on, and they just need to find that little toy, find their pacifier and pop it in. If you've got a baby over 8 months old and they're still using a pacifier, you'll now need to keep it until probably around 3.5 years old, where then you can start, basically the pacifier or dummy fairy can make a trip and you're able to actually, the toddler then is able to understand that if I don't have this sleeping tool anymore, I'll get something else, and there will be a couple of unsettled weeks where you will end up having to deal with and work through with a toddler, but it's not not the end of the world. It's easiest to do that once the baby or once the toddler has completely dropped all naps, because they are tired, they'll go to sleep and they'll learn that sleep association without the pacifier quite quickly. So I hope that answers your question and clarifies if you need to get rid of your dummy or pacifier, and remember to go to our website for further information on baby sleep.